Chief is a family-owned, Nebraska-based company comprised of 7 diverse brands. Chief, trusted, tested, true.
Good morning, everyone. If you haven't figured out by now, every single day of farming is completely different. And I truly wake up, and even though I knew that I was going to be harvesting today, I wake up and I'm like, what job am I going to do today? Am I going to be in the combine? Am I going to be in the grain cart, a semi truck? I'm going to be running errands. I never know. Today we're in the combine, and I just have to get this little chunk done here before we move over to that part of the field. So right now I'm idled all the way down, and I'm just going to start the internals of the combine up. You'll hear that kind of pull down and start. Now I'm going to start my head. I just push down and push forward. So now I'm just going to speed up and go to second gear. And now that is the fastest gear that we can be going in. Okay, so now I'm going to go forward, and I'm going to press number 2, and that's going to resume my settings and put my head down. But I'm going to immediately kick out of auto steer so that I can shift over and find the appropriate line that I need to be in. Just gonna line up right there. So that's where I need to be. Now I'm just going to shift this over until it lines up and press my auto steer button and speed this operation up. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna maybe move my reel in just a hair, and I do that with this button there. And that just kind of helps with feeding the soybeans in. And we are rolling. It is a particularly windy morning, meaning that there was no dew this morning, or it went away way faster than it has been. So in previous days of harvest, the past couple, what has it been, a week, 2 weeks? The past 2 weeks, we have been starting at like 11 or 11:30 in the morning. But since there was no dew, we were able to get the combine rolling by 9 a.m., which on beans, that is super good. On corn, you could pretty much harvest all day or all night because the dew doesn't affect the harvest as much. I really should have cleaned off this window before I started this morning. Gage didn't have school today, but he does have a football game tonight. So he actually beat me out here and had the combine filled up and full of diesel exhaust fluid so that when I got here, it was just ready to roll. So thank you, Gage. You guys have been asking for it. Oh, we got a little bit of a pile here. Go slow. Okay, that reel got it. We are going to be going to one of Gage's football games tonight. I'm going to be filming some so you guys can see him play. If you remember from some previous videos, we were dealing with some blown over soybeans. We had to switch fields so that they would actually combine because these just were not working. So we're back to this field. They've dried down a little bit more, but man, is it just slow going. Barely 2 miles an hour. They're just such a tangled mess. They're all blown over this way. So they cut and lay in a pile and then all come into the feeder house at one time. And I just really don't want to risk plugging the feeder house at all. So I have the reel moved down pretty close to try and push them in as much as possible. But I just want to be careful that the reel isn't breaking any of the pods open prematurely. So that's kind of why I'm going a little bit slower. I just don't want to plug anything up. Slow and steady wins the race. I do not want to jinx anything, okay? So knock on wood, knock on John Deere, however you want to go with that. We might get done with bean harvest today. Wouldn't that be so crazy? It feels like we just started, but we've been going at it for roughly 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks now. And so getting done with that today would be so awesome because then we can get things transferred over, switch the heads out, switch some settings in the combine, and start picking corn, which is way more exciting than harvesting beans. Since it is so windy outside, I'm really keeping an eye on my residue, and that is all the unused parts of the beanstalk. So all we're threshing out all the pods and the stalk, and it's all getting chopped up and thrown behind us. But it's so windy, I don't want any of that residue getting thrown into the standing beans that I'm going to harvest. So I'm using this screen right here to kind of adjust as the wind comes at me and as for which direction I'm facing. There is absolutely no relaxing for me in the combine cap. Now, don't get me wrong, I love it. I love being in here. The combine driver is the boss of the whole operation. The whole operation runs at the pace of the combine driver, listens to the combine driver. However, there is no relaxing or playtime for me in here. I'm laser focused. My head is on a constant swivel, eyeing the length of the draper head, behind the draper head, behind me in my rear view mirrors, keeping an eye on the grain cart driver where he is. My monitors, so I'm looking at the moisture of the soybeans. I'm looking at how many acres an hour I'm doing. I'm looking at my different speeds. I'm looking at my engine load to make sure I don't, stress this beast of a machine. Really just watching my levels of everything and then making small adjustments as I see fit. There are some really nice Harley pegs up here, but my feet are never resting on this. I am lean forward, head on a swivel, focused. I will say it is so cool and such a good feeling to be in control of such a big piece of equipment. I truly love the equipment operation side of farming. I think it is so fun, especially once you've spent a good amount of hours in a particular piece of equipment and you can hear what it sounds like and feel what the movements are like and really get to be like, I know it sounds cliche, like one with the machine. It is just a really, really cool feeling. And with as big as this is and as small as I am, I can't imagine what it feels like to run like one of those big mining dump trucks. I bet that is just one of the coolest feelings in the whole world. Now this is just plain satisfying. The last pass on this part of the field. Then we will move to over there, north of the bin site. And that will be those couple acres. There's probably 20-ish acres over there. That'll be the last of our soybeans for this year. Gage is headed to his football game, so I traded out the other hired guy, Brandon, who I mentioned in my last video, to drive the combine, and we are back in the grain cart. So much grain flows through augers during harvest. It boggles my mind. The real question is, will we finish beans tonight? This to that line of power poles is what we have left. We'll see. This is the last pass of soybeans for 2023. I am 52% sure that it's September 29th, and we just finished soybeans. Oh my goodness. And I know, oh man, there's the most beautiful moon over that truck. I'm sure the camera doesn't do it any justice. But now I'm going to go change clothes and head to watch Gage play football.
Back to like you said, the brakes work, the winch put, like everything works. Yeah, I love it. Attaboy, Gage!
She will lose her mind. And then I will never be this way.
You're gonna have to yeah!
Gage won his football game. He did an awesome job. He has just been the best person to have around for the past year, and I know that you guys love him almost as much as we do. And we finished soybeans today, which is crazy. very exciting. Corn is coming next, which is even more exciting. So I hope you stick around for it. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.